What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Chef Sean Did It, and we are going to show you a quick way of how we make our box cakes. Let's get into it. So for this client, she wants pink cupcakes, and she wants 25 cupcakes and 25 cake pops. So a lot of people are typically afraid to do cake boxes because they feel like it's not technically official. His cake mixes are kind of sort of like for a beginner, but at the end of the day, you can still do cake mixes as a professional. Me personally, I like to mix it up a little bit. I don't always use what's on the cake box. So starting off, so in this cake mix, it asks for us to use 3 eggs. Unfortunately, I don't have 3 eggs. I only had 2 left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remix this. Since it asks for oil, I'm going to add a few more inches of oil just so that it balances out that extra egg I didn't have. It asks for 1 cup of water. That's something that, of course, you should have. If you don't, then go buy some bottles of water. But you should have some water. So I'm just gonna go ahead and insert my water. To me, I don't like to just dump all of my water in or any of my liquid ingredients inside, just pouring it in. I like to put the water on the outer area of the cake mix because even if I do a homemade cake, I still like to do it that way, just so that way when you get ready to mix all of your ingredients together, it isn't liquidy and you can at least watch it more that way. So it also asks for 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, but I'm gonna add a little bit more because like I said, I only had 2 eggs and not 3. And don't get so afraid when you are missing a product for a box cake. That's the only good specialty about a box cake. When you're using a box cake, you can kind of freestyle it. You know, you can kind of mix it up a little bit because they already gave you the ingredients. It's just that the measurements might be a little off, so you can kind of make your own. A pinch above 1/2. So we're gonna add 1/2 of vegetable oil, and I'm gonna pause before I add all of that. We're not gonna add the whole thing. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up before I add my eggs. But I did not feel like using my hand mixer, so I am just using it by hand, but takes a little bit longer by hand, but it still does the job. So the cake mix is like this, and that's with me just using my hand for about 5 minutes, maybe less than that. So I have my 2 eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and yes, a lot of people prefer to use a bowl to crack their egg first. Been doing it a while, so I pretty much don't have to do all of that. But hey, be my guest and put your eggs in a bowl first. That way you can sort out the shells and then you don't waste any eggs. So now we have the 2 eggs in here. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up really, really good. Gonna take my time because it's a little bit liquidy, and me doing it by my hand and not having like a standstill mixer to keep everything from splashing. I'm just gonna take my time until I get all of that mix a little bit thicker, and then I'll go crazy. Just with a little bit more oil and 2 eggs, I was able to get the same consistency that I'm looking for. So I set my oven to 275 because I don't want to use too much heat on cupcakes. I have realized that when you use too much heat on your cupcakes, they rise a lot faster and they burn a lot quicker. We're gonna go ahead and add the ingredients that will give it a little flavor. So I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract, vanilla flavor, you can call it that if you want. I'm not gonna add too much, just a drizzle of that. I'll add 1 more drizzle. Just know vanilla does go a long way, so you don't need too much, or else you're gonna have a very flavorful vanilla cake mix or cupcakes, whatever you do. Don't mind my sugar bowl. You know, us good folk, we like to put everything in our containers and reuse everything. So I'm gonna add about half a cup of sugar, probably less. No, I'm gonna add the whole thing. More sugar gives it a lot of flavor. And this is a white cake box mix. So that is the reason why I'm flavoring it up a lot more, because it might not have that much flavor to it. Like again, always wanna add your own flavoring when doing cake boxes. A lot of people think cake boxes don't work because they're going based on just the box. You have to add more. I just tasted it and it most definitely needs more sugar. So we're gonna add more sugar. And again, I don't measure. I just go by the taste. Perfect, perfect. I'm gonna take my color, and I'm gonna only add about three drops first. Then I'm gonna mix this up very good. Another thing, if you do not mix your cake mix up good with color, food coloring, food gel, your cake mix or even your icing will taste like ink. Have you ever tasted icing and you're like, ugh, it tastes like ink? That's probably because they didn't mix it good. Or they used an off-brand food coloring. And you wanna make sure that you're going through your cake mix so you can see underneath that cake mix or that icing, to make sure that if you see the streaks of pink showing, which means that that color that I use, it hasn't blended good, and you want that blended very good. Although you can eat this still, it doesn't taste good. So I want these a little bit more pink. So I'm gonna add some more drops. And again, the reason why I started with 3 is because you want to take your time, because you never know what consistency you're gonna get. And if you do too much, you might get the wrong color. But if you take your time and you work your way to your product or to your final result, you have a better outcome. So I'm just gonna take some, pour some in this